What's good? I had a question on one of my videos from Who the Fuck is D9? The question was, do you have a tutorial on the fixture? And he was referring to how I set up these tube LEDs for music videos. First of all, they come with these little connections like this, so you can link them together. They also come with individual plugs, so you can plug them in individually. Just for the designs that I like to do for music videos, 4 is usually the maximum I use. You might come up with something with fewer or more lights, whatever, you know, works for you, works for you. The lights come in a 6-pack. They're 4 feet long. I'm only gonna use 4 for demonstration today. All right, now each of the lights comes with 2 of these little brackets like this and screws to go with them. Okay, so what I did is I got together at Lowe's these, I think they're about a 1/2 inch thick, it's wood, about a 1/2 inch thick, and these are 7 feet long. Let me see if I'm just back up so you can see that. So, very long. The reason I wanted them so long was because I don't want my stands to show up in the shots. So having these things be 7 feet wide, I can mount them with the stands on either end. That gives me an extra 1.5 feet on each side of the light without worrying about the stands coming up in the shot. That's the reason I did that. So anyway, I have screwed these little brackets into this wood. I also painted the wood black, so it'd be a darker color, less likely to show up in my shots. Most of what I'm gonna do right now is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm gonna go through it really quickly. Okay, so these all have brackets on them. Just gonna go ahead and snap all of these in. I typically leave these on permanently, but I had 3 sets of these lights. I've got one on the ceiling, well, part of one on the ceiling, part of one on that wall over there. I gave a set to one of my business partners, and I'm gonna be putting a set in the new studio. I'm not gonna worry about lining these lights up perfectly because this is just for a quick example of how I set them up. I'm just snapping them all in. Okay, so you will notice, this doesn't have to be set up this way, but I think it works best. You will notice that on these light stands, I have all of the little knobs facing forward. The reason for that is it gives me, if I want to spread the lights that far apart, it gives me somewhere to rest the lights. It's not necessary, as I was saying, but it can be quite helpful. Okay, same way on this one. And I'm gonna show you in a moment why that's not totally necessary. Next thing I wanna mention to you is that because they only come in this little length right here, you only have that much distance you can put between your lights, like so. I wanted more distance between the lights because I think they look better when they're spaced a little bit, so I actually found some that are longer, much longer. So the ones they come with compared to the ones I have. See that? That gives me more flexibility in my setup. You'll also notice that this one is black, but they actually come in white. I just wrapped them with some black masking tape. You can use whatever kind of tape if you want to do that, so it's less likely to show up in the shot. So I'm gonna pull out 3 of these to connect the lights, and then I'll show you the next step. Lastly, I got black extension cords, less likely to show up in the shots. The power cable that comes with the lights, also white. The switch is also white. All of this is wrapped in black tape. Now, this is where the magic happens. You can connect these lights, they're pretty light, with just gaffer's tape or Velcro or whatever else. Because I have them on these sticks, and these sticks are a little heavier, so tape might not work, Velcro still works. I like to be able to reposition these on light stands, and I can move the light stands into any area, not just stick them up against a permanent wall. So I attach these black sticks to my light stands with just regular spring clamps. I'm gonna run through this really quickly too. So I just throw these together on here. I'm gonna put them apart some. You won't be able to see the light stands because they're gonna be so far apart, but you get the idea. I'll use the Osmo in a moment to show you a close-up. Okay, so I usually go through and I measure it to make sure it's even with a ruler, yardstick, whatever. Just let me show you how I got these connected. Now you see how I was saying this helps keep this in place, but it's not really necessary because these clamps are strong enough to hold them wherever I place them. And let's say I need to make some modifications for the shoot. All I do is remove the clamp, move this to where I want it, and then release the clamp. That's it. Now we're gonna go through connecting everything. You got this, goes into here. These little links. There we go. Another link. Here. Plug in the power to one of them. So the power goes into one, goes down, the link goes around to the next one, goes down, link goes to this one, goes down, and the link goes to this one. That's simple. Then I flip the switch and all the lights go on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill the other light that's over here so you can see what this looks like without anything else on. Of course, I haven't adjusted for exposure and all of that, but typically you would have a black backdrop behind the artist, or you might have this far enough from a dark area so that it's not showing up on the back here. I'm gonna show you something else here. Well, my favorite shots are the catch lights. I can actually spin this around or I can put the camera on the other side. Let me throw my glasses on and I'll show you what I mean. And now I look like a rap star. So basically, line catch lights. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really simple, so you see? I think it's a nice effect. Now I'm gonna show you one more setup with the line, maybe two more. The lines vertically and maybe in a triangle. Notice on this vertical setup, same way with the horizontal, I have this down at an angle so this won't move. That keeps whatever it's clamped to from being able to move. If you have this pointing out straight like this, they can slide off. You put it down like that, it kind of locks itself in place, okay? And it's vertical. So you put these so far apart like so. The bottom part doesn't even have to be clamped. If it goes all the way to the floor keeps it from moving. If you do want to take them up higher, you can just clamp the bottom part up higher. That's it. I actually would have those a little higher than I do now. Turn this down. Okay, so of course you would want to light your artist's face so you can actually see your artist. You'd have that super dark except for the lights, and then you'd have a light shining right on front of the artist. You know, the sad thing about this whole video is that all of my lights have remotes and I've just been walking back and forth switching them. There's a triangle. You, of course, would probably have this higher up and a little better constructed, but that's the basics of it. And you can do rectangles, triangles, squares, whatever. You can also have like rows of lights horizontally on the sides where they're coming in at an angle. The options are endless. And that's pretty much it. You can buy yourself a set of these for like 42 bucks, including shipping. Get you 2 or 3 sets. You can set up all sorts of shapes and combinations. The 3 or 4 on each side coming in like this, up on either side of the artist, in front of the artist, right beside the artist, all sorts of things. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, let me know. Post a comment. Deuces.